Yes, yeah, it's been a while since the last time I was here. I played the NBC tent, and that was amazing. And you know, it's just been a wow. It's been a wait. It's been quite a wait. So here I am. I'm back. It takes some adjusting to again. You know, even though I got here like 4 or 5 days ago, I'm still adjusting to just everything new. Within the last year and a half, some new stuff, and then you know people. And just meeting new people, and then you know seeing people I haven't seen in a long time. So yeah, there's a bit of an adjustment to make this next trip, you know, kind of like really comfortable. The audience is, you know what? I think you know I'm playing to a newer generation too, you know, and then the generation, my generation, you know, us who are middle aged in our 40s, and you know they've been with me for the last couple decades, but then now you got this new younger batch, like 16 and 17-year-olds coming to the shows, and those are the new fans discovering the older stuff, and then you know, kind of growing up with the new stuff that I'm putting. So yeah, you know, I don't think the only thing that changes is the age groups, you know. So and I like that. Nah, not necessarily to cater. I don't cater to one specific. I cater to myself. It's my voice. These are my ideas, and you know I don't expect everyone to agree with them. And if they do, hey, it's cool. We're on the same page, you know, because that's me. That's my angle. That's how I see the world. You know, I'm not gonna do this to make sure that I take care of your views. Yeah, no, that's because I'm still an independent, you know, artist, and and even though I've chosen the craft of stand-up comedy. You know, you have to have your own unique angle, right? And we know how to make you know, get a laugh out of anything. You know, even in the worst of times, you know, we will find a way to crack a smile and end up laughing. That's just how I was raised. You know what? When you get a little older, like me, and yeah, you got to stick to your guns. You have to. You know, don't worry about offending everybody's sensibilities that don't match with yours. You know, so you have to give into your own, you know, inner courage. You know, if you believe in the material, if there's something you need to say and it's funny, then that's yours. You got to do that. It's your duty to share it, and you know, otherwise you hold it in and your stuff never gets better. You know, you're never going to be that. The full potential of the comic you want to be. My favorite comedian is Mark Twain.
Twain.
Yeah, he's the very first stand-up comic ever. You know, he went around the world doing stand-up comedy, but no microphone. You know, he just sat on a stage on the chair and just projected and told great humorous stories, satirical tales, and he was very opinionated. You know, he was one of the true comedian activists. And it was all about you know, keeping our morality intact, and he did this, you know. So he's my favorite stand-up comic. Maybe, you know, I'm back and forth. You know, sometimes I'll throw in some current event stuff, but you know that I'm not gonna hold on to that forever. You know, because it's only good for like a week or two, and then. But the process, I try to write my stuff in a very universal kind of way. Has to, you know, if it works this week, I hope it works 10 years from now, or 27 years from now. And some of the bits have, you know, they've stood the test of time. So I got to pat myself on the back for, you know, knowing that, yeah, you know, I stuck to it, and I made sure that I stuck to the certain style and process of writing a routine that, you know, I can. Yeah, I did that back in '97. I can still tell it, you know, now in 2013, and it'll still get the same kind of reaction, you know, the same kind of laughter. I do all the planning in my head. I don't open mic. I don't like to do open mics because, you know, I've got my own standards already, my own way of filtering everything, and restructuring if needed, you know, the joke. It's like architecture. You have to look at how it's engineered. You know, how it's joined together, you know, and then you know, throw something at it, and if it falls, you know, start over, you know. But if it's a framework that you really like, and you know, that's what joke writing is about. You know, you got a setup, you got a middle part, and then you got the payoff, which is the punchline, and then maybe something else. You know, I mean, you can go in different directions, you know, because it is still a writing art form. A go-to joke. Oh my gosh. I don't know. I'm not like one of those like, hey, I got a joke right now. Yeah, I got a million. No, you know, those are joke tellers, and you know, I think, you know, as a satirist, as a stand-up comic, yeah, it's if you want to go that direction, you know, I mean, it's very difficult to write a joke. Not everyone can write a joke. You know, I'm still trying to, you know, figure out, you know, the do's and don'ts about writing a joke. You know, especially for my sensibility and my audience. You know, I'm making sure that I'm not going to write a joke that another comic should be telling. You know, it's something for me, and it's definitely something my audience wants to, you know, wants to hear. Oh yeah, all the time. You know, and that makes you really excited that you're part of this community of stand-up. Like, wow, you know, this is very low tech. There's no tech about it. It's just you and a microphone and ideas and projecting those ideas and making them funny. Like, wow, it's almost like someone invented the greatest thing you ever needed to fix your life, and it came in a form of a joke. And like, oh my God, really? I wish that was it was right. I could have thought of that, but I didn't. So you leave it. Sometimes there's moments where, wow, you just witnessed some genius, and it was in the form of just a simple joke, you know. So, you know, like one of my favorite comics, real jazz or freestyle comic said, you know, his name is Mitch Hedberg, and he said that, you know, escalators never break, they just become stairs. Amazing, you know? It's like, oh my God, that's deep and hilarious. Oh my God, that's so funny. So every time I, you know, you see some broken escalators that I've stopped, you know, it's not broken, it's just stairs. Yeah. So yeah, some moments of genius like that. You wish you wrote that. The tricky part about it is it's everything. It's all those things in real time. Together. You just can't say, okay, delivery first, go ahead, and then now material. No, yeah, right, side by side. Everything is parallel at the same speed, and wow, it takes practice. It really takes a lot of practice for new comics to understand the pace, that you have to be in control of the pace, of the delivery, and the reveal, you know. So yeah, it comes with time, but yeah, it's all those things together. Just keep doing it. That's it. You know, I mean, you come up with the story, you know, your angle, your elements, and then next, being on stage. You're blocking, you know, making sure that everyone's listening, you know, that the room is ready for it. Are you ready for it? Here we go. You know, so everything has to kind of just roll out together, but it's not easy, and you learn. I mean, really, when new bits start to come out and I want to give them some stage time, you know, I really have to work the timing. It's just really, you know what, just put it out there. It was horrible, bring it back. Just bring it back to the tool shop and rework it. That's it. That's the whole process. You know, you make some rough you know, the edits, and you make them smooth. You know, it's all. If you live in a country, you know, where the free speech is totally, you know, allowed. You know, hey, if people love torture comedy, insult comedy, and just really watching other people, you know, go through pain, you know, there's an audience for that. You know, it's not necessarily, you know, my style of comedy. I go a different direction, but you know, I'm not here to say yay or nay to a certain brand of comedy. I think that there should be all kinds of comedy, and you know, what you see at the really successful you know, comedy bars, you know, hey, they got their audience. That's awesome. You know, that's gonna last because they've got real professionals working. And you know, some people criticize their style because they're insult comics, but you know what? That's what else is there? I mean, really, was it a mystery? Were you surprised? You know what you're walking into. So, you know, even if you come to one of my shows, you know, I mean, it depends who you're watching that night. You know, you might have a comic you don't agree with, and then you start having a verbal spat between each other. You know, then it can get really bad. But you know, that's just how it is. As long as ideas can be exchanged, and you can still, you know, find some humor in it. You know, it's comedy, and it's art. I think it's self-expression. So, yeah, I'm not gonna say, you know, your comedy doesn't work over mine. My favorite subject? Nothing in particular. Everything, you know. I mean, really. I mean, I think that's one of the cool things about deciding on not having one thematic style. Just there's so much stuff to talk about. You know, I mean, I've put out 4 CDs, 3 DVDs. I've talked about a lot of stuff. I can't believe how I've mixed so many topics and genres together, you know, over the years. But it's been 24 years, so I'm still kind of experimenting, you know, through this process.